The stage lights hit, the cameras flashed, and just like that, in one single moment, the whole narrative shifted. We're talking about that two-decade Hollywood dynasty, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. A relationship they famously said wasn't just life-changing, it was life-beginning.
Yeah, that's a specific phrase, life beginning. And that carefully built image, that story of stability, well, it hit a very abrupt end in late September 2025.
Now, the split itself, the separation, that had apparently been going on privately for months.
Exactly. But it was one particular act, one piece of, let's call it public behavior, that turned all the quiet whispers into undeniable fact. It basically forced them into a public legal action.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today, we are definitely doing a deep dive. We're looking at the sources surrounding the Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman separation.
We're going to unpack the legal strategy, that timeline of, well, alleged betrayal, and the really shocking public moment that just shattered the facade they'd maintained for so long.
Our mission here is to show you how what looked like a potential PR nightmare was managed very quickly into a clinical, almost corporate-level exit strategy.
Okay, let's start right there then, with the behavior that seemed to change everything.
Right. So the big headline, the shocking fact here, isn't that this caused the split. We need to be clear on that. They were already separated.
Okay.
But the behavior captured in that viral moment, that was the final straw, publicly, the undeniable act that made keeping the split private completely impossible.
And the sources really zero in on the song, don't they? Urban's 2016 hit, The Fighter.
Absolutely. I mean, that song was practically the soundtrack to their public relationship narrative. It was his big stated promise to protect Nicole Kidman.
A promise put to music.
Exactly. But if you look back, and the sources do point this out, there were signs maybe things weren't perfect, a kind of slow erosion.
Like those interviews that resurfaced, where he seemed a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, maybe evasive is the word. Describing his recent work wanting to break out of soul-sucking routine. That phrase alone is pretty telling.
And wasn't there that clip about her career? Someone asked about how prolific she is, and his response was so flat.
That's the one. Just, it's a job. Yeah, life is in session.
Wow. Life is in session. That sounds less like a supportive husband and more like, I don't know, profound distance. Like the marriage itself was just part of the session that was maybe ending.
It certainly reads that way in hindsight, doesn't it? And it kind of sets the stage for the main event, the viral video.
This was posted September 26, 2025, just days before the official news broke.
Posted by Maggie Bao, his touring guitarist. She's 25 years old.
And the detail that just set everything on fire, during The Fighter, the song about protecting Nicole.
He changes the key lyric. Instead of the promise to Nicole, he sings, "When they're trying to get to you, Maggie, I'll be your guitar player."
Oof. And Maggie Bao captions it.
Did he just say that?
Which, I mean, talk about fanning the flames.
Instantly viral. And the public reaction was immediate and, frankly, pretty brutal. Rumors of infidelity just exploded. Bao got painted as the homewrecker, despite her team denying everything.
What's fascinating, though, from a strategic viewpoint, is that even though the marriage was technically over, this felt like a public rewriting of their history. He took that song,
Dedicated to his wife.
and publicly on stage rededicated it. That's not a slip-up, is it? That feels like a statement, a transgression made incredibly loud.
It certainly landed that way. The fallout was immediate. Damage control kicked in. Sources confirmed Bao wouldn't be on the next leg of the tour.
Trying to put the fire out.
Exactly. But the narrative was already out there. Betrayal.
Yeah.
Public humiliation. It made quietly managing the separation totally impossible. It basically demanded a response, a big public legal response.
And Nicole Kidman delivered that response just 4 days later. But it wasn't like an emotional outburst. It was clinical, a 37-page blueprint for how to dismantle a marriage with maximum efficiency.
A masterclass in strategic disentanglement, really.
A subscribe mention one. Okay, if you are finding these Hollywood twists and the kind of cold, hard facts behind the glamour interesting, make sure you hit subscribe. Because we have more coming up on this, including the details of possibly the most sophisticated celebrity split we've seen in years.
Which brings us right to the legal strategy. Because that divorce filing, it wasn't a reaction to the video, not really. It showed this whole thing was, as one source put it, a carefully managed demolition, planned months before.
That's key, isn't it? Understanding the control she, or they, but seemingly mostly she, had over how this unfolded.
Totally. The timeline backs it up. Reports confirmed they'd been living apart since the beginning of summer.
Right, with Urban quietly getting his own place in Nashville, moving out of the family home, the separation was real, just not public.
And then the paperwork. Filed by Kidman, Davidson County, Tennessee, September 30, 2025. The grounds, standard irreconcilable differences.
But the crucial part is when the agreements were signed. Exactly. The marital dissolution agreement, the parenting plan, all comprehensive, detailed documents. Urban signed his part on August 29th. Kidman signed hers on September 6th.
Weeks before that video even surfaced. Weeks before the public knew a thing.
They were basically waiting, maybe not for that specific trigger, but for the right moment to make it public, with everything already locked down.
So let's get into the finances, because this is where you really see the strategy at work. Designed to just avoid conflict entirely.
Spot on. The documents state they forever waived any claim to alimony from either side.
Okay, no alimony battles. That cuts off one major source of drama.
And then this. The filing declares they hold no joint assets whatsoever. Zero.
Wow, how is that even possible after nearly 2 decades?
They'd already divided everything privately. Personal property, cars, bank accounts, business interests. The sources even mentioned the credit card points. All split to their mutual satisfaction before filing. Okay, that level of pre-settlement is intense. It's like a corporate demerger. Does that kind of clean financial break also legally shield future earnings? Like, does it stop one side trying to claim more later based on the other's success?
It absolutely minimizes that risk. By declaring zero financial interdependence before the public divorce, they essentially neutralize the biggest potential battleground. No money fights means less media fodder, less speculation. It starves the narrative of conflict, like you said. The focus shifts.
Shifts to control.
Yeah.
And the kids. The parenting plan seems just as strategic.
Aggressively so. Kidman is legally designated the primary residential parent.
And the days are really specific, aren't they?
Very. 306 days a year with Kidman, 59 days with Urban. That's a significant imbalance, legally cementing her role as the anchor for the children.
And there's more, right, about decision-making.
Yes, the final authority clause. This is huge. While they have to consult on big things like education and healthcare, if they disagree,
She decides.
Kidman shall have final decision-making authority. Full stop. It puts the ultimate control firmly in her court.
And child support. Another potential minefield avoided.
Completely neutralized. Urban prepaid all major child-related expenses. We're talking private school tuition, nanny costs, extracurriculars, all paid up front in a lump sum, covering them through each child's age and majority.
So no monthly checks, no future arguments about increasing payments. Just done. A clean slate. Designed for stability, designed to eliminate any future friction points.
The whole legal filing was less about ending a marriage and more about executing a pre-planned exit with military precision.
Retention hook 1. This incredibly efficient legal work really set the stage, didn't it? But you really need to hear what happened next, because just days later, the daughters themselves made this unbelievably powerful statement right in the glare of the global spotlight.
Yeah, the focus immediately shifted to the children, Sunday Rose, who's 17, and Faith Margaret, 14. And the legal filing itself offered some protection there.
How so?
There was a clause forbidding either parent from speaking negatively about the other in front of the kids, sort of building a shield around them legally.
But they didn't exactly hide away, did they? Sources said Kidman and the girls were, like, inseparable all summer. She was holding the family together.
And instead of retreating when the news broke, they did the opposite. They stepped right into the spotlight. A very deliberate, very public move.
This was Paris Fashion Week.
Exactly. October 6, 2025. Just 1 week after the divorce filing hits the news. Sunday and Faith are photographed walking hand in hand with their mother into the Chanel show.
That image alone, talk about a calculated statement of strength, the sources called it.
It's incredibly powerful visually, isn't it? A unified front, right when the world expects to see cracks. And insiders were confirming the girls are very loyal to their mom right now. They chose to be there by her side.
That just completely flips the script. You expect the tabloid narrative of broken home, the kids caught in the middle.
But this was the opposite. It was a picture of unity and resilience. And Sunday Rose's actions were maybe even more striking.
What did she do?
October 1st. That's the day immediately after the divorce filing becomes public knowledge. Global headlines everywhere.
Yeah.
She walks the runway for Christian Dior in Paris.
Wow. The day after.
The day after. And her first Instagram post afterwards, purely professional. Just the photo and J'adore Dior.
That's remarkable composure for a 17-year-old under that kind of intense pressure and scrutiny. It shows real agency, doesn't it? Like a decision not to be defined by the family drama.
Absolutely. And you can't help but see this, as the sources suggest, in the context of Kidman's past. Right.
With her older children
Right.
after the Cruz divorce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sources explicitly mention her determination to avoid that kind of painful estrangement this time around. And here you have it. The younger children, visibly, proudly aligned with her in public. It creates a very different, very unified narrative.
And then, of course, there was the hair.
Ah, yes. Kidman debuts this striking new hairstyle in Paris, bangs and all. The media immediately dubs it revenge hair.
It just completed the picture, didn't it? Every single public move, from the timing of the filing, the financial details, the parenting plan, right through to the daughter's appearances and the new look, it all felt meticulously calibrated, projecting strength, control, and dignified survival.
A masterclass in narrative management.
Subscribe mentioned too. Stay tuned with us and make sure you hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss our final thoughts comparing their really different public paths after this and why those roles might actually be working together in a strange way. Hashtag tag tag outro.
Okay, so let's synthesize this whole event. The marriage itself seems to have ended privately months earlier, but it was Keith Urban's public behavior, specifically that lyric change, that really forced the situation into the open.
And Nicole Kidman's response was immediate, but not emotional. It was strategic. A super detailed legal filing that guaranteed total financial separation, preempted future conflict, and legally confirmed her role as the primary parent and ultimate decision maker for the kids.
Right, and this story immediately after the news broke wasn't one of collapse, but of recalibration, led by Kidman and her daughters, publicly showing strength, unity, and loyalty right away.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for you. The source material frames their paths after the divorce announcement as these divergent paths, resilience and retreat. Kidman is positioned as the resilient survivor, composed, focused, looking impeccable in public.
While Urban takes on the role of the isolated artist, sources describe him as embarrassed, emotional on stage, dealing with public humiliation, even canceling a show. So the question we have to ask is, are these genuine emotional responses playing out publicly? Or are they perhaps carefully managed public personas, symbiotic narratives almost?
Meaning narratives designed to serve both their long-term career interests.
Think about it. Kidman's image is arguably enhanced by emerging strongly from his apparent betrayal. And his path back, his potential for public redemption, might even be helped by projecting genuine pain and isolation now. Is it real, or is it another layer of calculation in this Hollywood survival game? Something to consider.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.